If you want to know how much Donald Trump is panicking, you don't just have to look at this meme right here of Governor Walz, now the presumptive Democratic VP pick right there. That picture cracks me up. But Donald Trump repeatedly is calling Vice President Kamala Harris Kamabala over and over again, just revealing to the world yet again what a petulant third grade wannabe bully he is. Just take a look at these posts. Post after post, Donald Trump keeps saying Kamabala, and he was previously saying crazy Kamala. The whole thing is so bizarre that this is like the leader of the Republican Party who behaves like this. Here's Trump's post, and it's like post. He goes, Kamala has stated over and over again that she wants to defund the police and without question ban fracking. Trump just like makes stuff up. People vote with their stomach, and food is now at an all-time high because of Kamala Biden. And then he goes on to say, the most radical left duo in American history. There has never been anything like it, and there never will be again. Crazy Kamala is indeed crazy. I hear there is a big movement to bring back Crooked Joe. What are the chances that Crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history whose presidency was unconstitutionally stolen from him by Kamala, Barack Hussein Obama, Crazy Nancy Pelosi, Shifty Adam Schiff, Crying Chuck Schumer, and others on the lunatic left, crashes the Democratic National Convention and tries to take back the nomination, beginning with challenging me to another debate? He feels that he made a historically tragic mistake by handing over the U.S. presidency, a coup to the people in the world he hates the most, and he wants it back now. I mean, I'm being serious. There's like Donald Trump needs to be put in a 5150 involuntary psych hold, although it may only last for 72 hours. Like, this is someone who's just deeply, deeply unwell. And by the way, you take a look at what President Biden posted earlier in the day as well. President Biden praised Vice President Kamala Harris for her selection of Governor Walz. So did AOC. So did Joe Manchin. Everyone's been praising this decision. Here's what Biden wrote. President Biden goes, the first major decision a party nominee makes is their choice for vice president, and Kamala Harris has made a great decision choosing Governor Tim Walz to be her running mate. I've known Tim Walz for nearly 2 decades, first during his time in Congress and as governor. A husband and father, he's been a school teacher and a high school football coach. He served 24 years in the Army National Guard and became the highest ranking enlisted soldier to ever serve in Congress. As governor, he's been a strong, principled, and effective leader. The Harris-Walz ticket will be a powerful voice for working people in America's great middle class. They will be the strongest defender of our personal freedoms and our democracy, and they will ensure that America continues to lead the world and play its role as the indispensable nation. It's time for all Democrats and indeed all Americans committed to freedom, democracy, and American leadership in the world to rally behind the Harris-Walz ticket. Every generation of Americans faces a moment where they are asked to defend American democracy. That moment is now. And again, you just look at the difference in this behavior. I mean, just the character aspect. Again, I don't care what, you may not even be involved in politics or like politics or believe you're this party or that party. I mean, Donald Trump's calling Kamala over and over again. And then just 2 days ago, Donald Trump was rooting for a stock market crash. And he kept on posting over and over again. I mean, just think about this. Like, look, when there's an issue, we want a leader who solves it. Like, just think about if there was a doctor during surgery, or a lawyer during court, or an engineer or an architect, or you could apply this to, in any profession. And the person who's responsible for things starts behaving like a maniac when there's an issue. And let's be clear, while the stock market went down earlier this week, it's not a crash. It was not 1987 where it was down 25%. The market has ebbs and flows. And yesterday, not a single MAGA was talking about the market. And all they were talking about on Monday, the entire day, was rooting for a crash in all capital letters. Here's what Donald Trump was saying on Monday. Let me just go through the Monday with you, okay? Again, this should take the politics out of it. Just look at this behavior. Donald Trump goes, stock markets crashing. It wasn't crashing. Why would you say that? unless you're rooting for it to crash, unless you are rooting to hurt we the people. That's what you were trying to do. Stock market's crashing. I told you so. What, I told you, a little baby? I told you so. Kamala doesn't have a clue. Biden is sound asleep, all caused by inept U.S. leadership. By the way, even as of Monday, here's a chart of the stock market under Biden-Harris, up about 50% from when Donald Trump was in office to where it is now, as of Monday. And then yesterday, when the market rebounded and did fine, none of the MAGA Republicans talked about it anymore. Remember a year and a half ago when they were trying to cause a run on banks and they were trying to spread panic through social media platforms and actually cause harm to us? So then Donald Trump posted Trump prosperity or the Kamala crash and Great Depression. It wasn't a Great Depression. What are you talking about? The economy is doing far better right now than it was under you. And then Trump repeatedly posted Kamala crash, Trump cash, Kamala crash over and over again. So that's what Donald Trump was doing. So yesterday, Kamabla, or whatever he was saying, the day before, talking about the stock market crashing, even though it wasn't, and rooting for it to crash. What else was he doing on Monday? I've showed you this before, but he also did an interview with a guy named Aiden Ross, this right-wing streamer. So as he's posting all of this, he does this interview with a right-wing streamer who got famous for sniffing the butts of other people and like humiliating himself on streams.
That's even weirder.
Just go.
All right, I'm make eye contact with you. Wow.
Ew, why are you being so weird?
And behaving like disgusting.
Hold on, Sneako, do you hear that? Sorry.
And then Trump says, you're very well respected. You're a well respected to the butt sniffer. And then Trump and the butt sniffer, they start doing a weird like dance together. Like what? Again, this shouldn't be a political thing, folks. We should just look at this and go, what in the world are they doing here? This was my reporting on it from yesterday. Play the clip. Donald Trump doing an interview earlier in the day to try to rebut the fact that lots of people have been calling him weird. So he did an interview with this guy, Aiden Ross. You see Donald Trump there. For those who are on audio, you can't see it, but those watching, doing a weird dance. This guy, Aiden Ross, is a right-wing streamer who got famous for sniffing the butts of people. He would sniff the butts of girls and people he considers alpha males in his own world, and he would sniff the seats, and the people would say, sniff it, Aiden, sniff it, Aiden.
Get a good whiff, not some little ass whiff, bro. Go.
Donald Trump said that Aiden is a very respected individual.
You really are respected. Amazing. I mean,
and that's how Donald Trump spent the day, with an actual butt sniffer.
The worst thing I've ever done with my sister is smell their underwear. That's it.
Just gets more and more insane, Ben, Jordy. What kind of Mad Libs is this episode? I don't know.
Here's the broader point that I want to make as well. Yes, Donald Trump saying, Kamabla, there's that, blah, 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 blah. But one of the broader points I want to make, not only is that he just this immature, petulant, wannabe third grade bully, he continues to do things to try to hurt you. And let me give you the various exhibits of how he's actively trying to hurt you and your family. So if you have family members who are not political, if you have family members who maybe still be on the fence about where they want to vote, bring them by the computer right now and let's just go through the exhibits, right? Exhibit 1 is the first thing I showed you, which is Donald Trump this week rooting for the stock market to crash and then saying the stock market's crashing when it's not. And I showed you the data that the stock market's up 50% under Biden and Harris. That's just the raw data. That's one. Exhibit 2, Donald Trump in the past 2 weeks attacking OPEC. OPEC is the oil cartel in the Middle East, which tries to price gouge and screw us. The Biden-Harris administration had a plan to contain OPEC from price gouging, thus leading to stable and lower gas prices than OPEC ever wanted. For the first time in America's history, we are energy independent because of the Biden-Harris plan. And because of their oil trading strategy, they've drove down the prices of the price per barrel of oil. But guess what? Donald Trump attacked OPEC because we, the people, now benefit from having lower gas prices. So that's exhibit 2. So exhibit 1, Donald Trump trying to make the stock market crash. Exhibit 2, Donald Trump attacking OPEC. Exhibit 3, Donald Trump killing the bipartisan border deal and bragging about how he killed the bipartisan border deal, whose lead negotiator was a Republican, James Lankford, conservative senator from Oklahoma, who negotiated the bipartisan border deal because Trump wanted chaos at the border because he viewed chaos, even if it hurt you. Even if it hurt we, the people, Trump viewed chaos as a good thing so he could run on chaos. Here's Donald Trump saying he killed the border bill. Play the clip.
But you give illegal taxpayer-funded lawyers, so they have millions of dollars in this agreement, in this deal, which we, by the way, killed. I think we killed it. I think it's dead. But you can never say it because bad bills always come back to life because these guys make a lot of money with bad bills. But they give millions, tens of millions of dollars, it's down there, to lawyers to represent the illegal immigrants that come into our country. It's not even believable.
And here is the Oklahoma Republican senator, very conservative, Oklahoma Republican Senator James Lankford, saying that this bill would have helped us, but the Republicans killed the bipartisan border deal. Here, let's play this clip. Play it.
So Biden, in a rare moment, was correct in the things that he was actually laying out in that clip from the State of the Union address. It would have increased the number of border agents, would have increased the number of asylum officers. It would have radically changed the way that we did actually the process.
All right, so I showed you Exhibit 1, Trump rooting for the stock market to crash. Exhibit 2, Trump attacking OPEC for having lower gas prices or lowering the price of oil per barrel. Exhibit 3, Trump killing the bipartisan border deal, right? All things that he did. Exhibit 4, Donald Trump attacking the chairman of the Federal Reserve and threatening the chairman of the Federal Reserve not to lower interest rates, to keep interest rates up. Why would Donald Trump be saying that? Because he thinks that will harm him in the election if we, the people, benefit from lower interest rates. So yet again, Donald Trump working against we, the people. And we just see this pattern over and over again in all of these various areas of how he's trying to cause harm and cause chaos to it. By the way, then you look at foreign policy. Who's he meeting with? He's meeting with Viktor Orban, Putin's buddy, to try to interfere with our foreign policy. He's making comments praising Putin on prisoner swaps. He's talking about pulling America out of NATO. That makes you less safe. That makes us less safe. He's trying to undermine the foreign policy, which, by the way, is a Logan Act violation as well, in my opinion. Look, he met with Netanyahu at Mar-a-Lago. Could you imagine if former President Obama or former President Clinton or someone was spending time with foreign leaders to undermine American foreign policy while a Republican was in power? To be prosecuted right away. So just think about all of those exhibits that I just gave you, and then go back. Remember when they were trying to create the run on the banks a year and a half ago? Over and over again, what Trump wants to do, what MAGA wants to do, is cause pain and then run on our pain. And it's about time we recognize it and call it out. Kamabla, weird stuff that he says over and over again, the deranged behavior, the interviews with butt sniffers, and then the trying to hurt us. Tell me what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.